You have to
I
have
gotta
it
get this in now.
Yeah.
I accidentally showed my address. I don't give a fuck. Do not write me. Do not tell me about your emergency situations. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I showed my address.
Wait, I know where you live now.
Yeah, everybody knows where I live. It's so easy to. People have known where I live since I started YouTube. Nothing happens. It's not a problem. Occasionally a fan comes. They're fucking delightful. I'm nice to them. I don't care. I don't care. You don't know how many people are going to write me on Reddit. Like, Woody, oh my God. I don't care. It's not a problem.
This may be a good way to move across to a topic of Syndicate's new video. Tom,
I saw that. Now it's
Can you catch me up? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so he what do you want to explain?
Sure. So Syndicate made a video saying that if anyone stops by his house looking for a selfie or some attention or to say that they're big fans or whatever, that he doesn't like that it's disrespectful, and he thinks they're fucktards. I think that I quoted him right from his Twitter. And which I thought was my word. No, fuck nards is my word. Yeah, never mind. So maybe none of them are my word. Anyway, he says they're fucktards.
You can have both of them.
And then he just basically he doesn't want people interrupting him. He says if you're lucky enough to catch him at the mall or on a cruise ship or something like that, that's fine. If you catch him at a gaming event, obviously he's there to be met and meet and greet and stuff. But do not show up to his house. And it came up last night on my live stream, and Kyle was like, "What do you know? Syndicate may have had intrusions on a level that you've never seen," and that kind of resonated in my head. And I think Kyle might be right. Like I fussed about online hating before, which I try not to talk about at all. And a lot of guys are like, this guy never lets it bother him. Yeah. He's an amateur. If you need pro getting hated on, like I don't know anyone who's on my level. Well, there are a few, but very few. And like for example, Syndicate. Right? Someone has told me like Syndicate never lets haters get to him. Syndicate's been he's gifted at what he does, and nobody hates on him. Very rarely. What he's gotten is nothing compared to what I've gotten. But in terms of popularity, he's crushing it, and maybe in people visiting my house, what I get is nothing compared to what he gets. So
I would imagine
it's
multifold. So obviously he's got a huge channel. His
just
age
past
group
9
is
million
different.
followers now.
Yeah, his
9
age
million
group
YouTube
is different.
subscribers.
That's amazing.
And he's in such a densely populated area
right?
Anyway, that there are thousands of his fans within a bike ride, a bus ride, maybe a walk to his place. And it's just like, yeah, let's go walk down there. Well, maybe they were sitting watching his videos like, you want to see his house? It's fucking huge. Let's go. And I feel like that's what's happening. And I'm sure enough is enough, because I bet a lot of people are going.
Sorry, I should have waited. I've had people visit me, and it's a drive. They're like, yeah. I've had people, like, well, one guy was 13 hours. Now, he was kind of in the area, but he was like, we were visiting UNC as a school, which is like an hour from where I used to live. And we thought since we were this close, we were going to visit you too. And like, I was very flattered by it. But
if you have that every day, though, if you're waking up in the morning about to check Woodycraft and there's a ring at the door and it's someone wanting a selfie, that wears quite a lot.
Exactly.
And especially he has that in not only the UK, but when he goes over to America as well. I imagine, you get home after all this jet lag, and the next thing you know, there's someone at the door wanting your autograph or just to say hello. It probably doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I imagine for him, that he is where he is because he's gotten more visitors than I ever have. But I guess maybe it's a reasonable thing, and a lot of people agreed with him. And
I think really you've just got to make it clear. You either don't care, like Woody yourself, you're saying, if people come to your house and you're willing to speak to them, that's cool. But if you don't, just say. I think Syndicate may have set a good precedent here, or precedent where he's just being vocal about it, just saying, look, don't come to my house. If you do, I think Tucker even said on Twitter as well that if you come to their house, he's gonna call the police. If you stay there for a prolonged amount of time, it's effectively stalking, and they don't want to do stuff like that. But I guess it's got to the point where it's just got to be the first call of action.
There's a tremendous divide, though, right? Like it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what Syndicate and Tucker see is an invasion into their lives. But from the fan standpoint, they're just like, man, I really like you. I like you so much that I'd love to come see you. And
That's awful. That's awful. That's so sick. That's so sick.
Really?
If you want to, I want to come see you. So I'm gonna come to where you live. I know where you stay now because I went on the internet and figured it out. Remember the other day when you were doing that little vlog riding the bus? I played it backwards, walked through Google Earth on a corresponding monitor, and now I know. And here I am. Here I am. Come on, let's get a selfie together. No, you fucking psychopath. Like, no, it's about entertaining you on the internet. But and if you want to form some sort of real life relationship, reach out and establish it. What if you did that to anyone? What if you... That's absurd. And I bet if it weren't just kids coming after like guys who play video games, if it were like the other way around, if I found some hot chick on the internet and I was like, I see you in real life, I really like what you do, and she's like, I'm a swimsuit model. Yeah, I like it a lot.
I'm a huge fan.
yeah, it doesn't work. It's creepy as fuck.
But maybe it comes from... So someone like Syndicate's fans are slightly younger in their demographic. You know, they could be as young as like 9 or 10 up to 18 to 30. It depends, really.
There's infants that watch Syndicate.
If they've grown up watching his vlogs and how open he is with his life, they may see him more as a friend than we do. Like, you know, you guys come from the perspective of also obviously being YouTubers, but as you're older, this wasn't always in your life. You weren't always watching someone talk about their daily life in a vlog scenario, telling them about their new house, how they just got back from a trip, you know, stuff like that. Maybe these people don't see it in the same way. It's like, oh no, yeah, Tom would be cool if I came over. I mean, I know him. I know everything about his life. I know how tall he is. I know, you know, where he lives, everything.
Let me jump in for a second. Just described I've been trying to say this, like this divide that I'm talking about that I mentioned a few minutes ago. What I'm talking about is the difference between what's in Tom's heart and what's in these people's heart, right? And the thing about them being young ties into that especially. Like these guys, they just adore him. They just like him. They only like want to get a little piece of him in their cell phone. I know it sounds sick and wrong, right?
And for each one of these people,
Tom.
For each one of these people, this will only ever happen once. They'll go to his house, get a selfie, and that's their experience. That's their single experience. If Tom's getting one of these a day, that's his experience 365 times. And, you know, for you, it's obviously not wearing on you because you've only gone there once. You've only done it once. But for him, he gets it a lot.
I bet, and I don't know, but I bet there are people like knocking on his door, ringing his bell, like waiting outside for him to do stuff. Like, and I bet it's children. Like, I bet it's children who are doing it. So you get out there, and they're like, hey, we just want to see you. And it's just like, you can't be like, fuck off, you little cocksucker. Like it's a little kid.
Yeah, that'd be way harder to deal with if the guy was like 10 or 11 as opposed to like 22 or 24.
Drop me off.
Yeah.
I imagine
she's going to pick me up at 5. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I guess come on in. Like, you know.
No, fuck it. Bus stops that way.
I see where Tom's coming from, and I get and what Patrick said was especially like relevant to me. Like it's this collective experience, right? You know, they see it as this. It's my thing. He's like, oh my god, it's every day with this stuff. But I also try to put myself in the kids' shoes and understand that, like, for them, it's a big moment. It's an important thing. It's, you know, and they only have love in their hearts. So
yeah. But I think Tom made the valid point there as well that there are events for this. Like there is events around the world. There's ones in the UK now, obviously based all around the world and in America also. There are events for this. If you want to go meet your favorite YouTuber, you can. This isn't the problem. The problem is when you're doing it on his time, in his personal space, which he regards as outside of his, you know, his YouTube presence. So.
Yeah, I'm with him 100% on this. I don't want anybody visiting me in any capacity. Like I mean, someone came at the driveway the other day to check the water meter, and my girlfriend's got a handgun ready to roll.
I feel your scenario is maybe slightly different. If someone goes to Tom's house, the first thought isn't to grab a gun because in the UK you can't do that.
Should be.
Whereas
Tom needs guns.
Tom needs air rifles.
So I feel like Tom is one of those privileged few in that country who could swing a gun license, if you know what I mean. I feel like...
Okay, so in the UK you can get a gun license, but it needs to be for agriculture reasons. So if you own a big farm and you need to shoot some animals, you can get a shotgun license.
Pick it up. If I'm Tom, I do whatever it takes. If I got to buy myself like a little farm with some sheep on it, if I got to buy myself like a sporting clays range,
problem is
a part owner of a sporting clays range, whatever.
You can't then just get that gun out. it's not that simple.
Wait,
What if-
you can't just keep a shotgun in your house if like you're like I like to hunt. You get the form filled
No.
out. That's horseshit.
You can't. I mean, I'm speaking from the experience I have. My dad is an avid shooter, but of air rifles rather than real guns. However, he used to go to gun clubs and has owned revolvers and loads of different guns as well. But more recently, there's been a few shootings at these gun clubs, and it means that even now, I don't think you can bring like a rifle home. I believe you have to keep them locked away at a club or a secure location. And also, if you do have a gun safe at home for even for like a shotgun, you have to have like police supervision. So they have to know it's there. They have to give you like a certificate to ensure that it's safe and inaccessible, even if you have like an intruder in your house, because that's not the point.
Inaccessible. So they have to like come by and get it out for you.
No. You can get it out yourself, but it's got to.
But it has to be hard.
It can't just be like next to you, ready to go in a safe where it's one key, you get it out.
A safe inside a safe.
It's more like I imagine the bullets would be separate to the gun, and it makes it more difficult for you to easily cars running through the method there. But yeah, to make it easy for you to just get one out. Like also wielding a gun, if Tom comes down to his front door with any kind of weapon in his hand, he's going to get arrested because that kid is gonna shit themselves, call the police, and then he'll get arrested for wielding a deadly weapon.
This is where the laws are foggy. It's the difference between brandishing and wielding and holding. All right, like at what point does it change? I feel like wielding is just kind of holding it at my side, right? Because I'm just sort of operating it, if you will. It's definitely not in a holster. It's in my hand, away from my body. But I feel like brandishing is when I'm just like, I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. Not
Okay.
Are you?
I've just googled the rules in terms of guns, and here is one of them. It is an offence to fire a gun within 50 feet of a roadway, public footpath, or bridgeway, and if doing so, any member of the public is endangered. It's an offence to carry a loaded gun in a public place without good reason. Any gun may be considered loaded, even if the bullets or pellets in a case of an air rifle
Come
are
up with a good
in
reason, no
detached
problem.
magazine. Rule changes, age limits.
None?
Looking here.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Just
Take
wanna-
Younger the better.
away. Is that what that's about?
14 is the age. Under 14-year-olds can hold a shotgun certificate, but they cannot hold a firearms license.
You know, he's
Once-
having this house custom built, right? It's occurred to me that if guns aren't an option,
Flamethrowers.
booby traps, right? Like, why doesn't his mat drop down, or why doesn't he have like a cannonball on a rope by the front door?
Have you seen
Just swings in.
the windows?
Every
that-
time. Yeah.
Have I
They
seen
are
what?
the windows that he's got. So he doesn't have any. It doesn't seem like he has any blinds or any curtains in his house. But when a flick of a switch, the windows go from transparent to frosted, which is cool. And that is, I guess, a good privacy feature because at any moment he can just turn all his windows from see-through and transparent, people being able to see through them, to you can't see anything, and that may help.
That is pretty sweet.
That's really neat. Yeah, I haven't. Has he done any like house tour vlogs lately?
Yes. Well, lately.
I saw one where he did like he was
Yes.
getting flooring like months.
Did you
So
ago.
these
the
air
one where-
rifles.
Air rifles, yes.
So over here we have air rifles that like you can kill a deer with. You can kill really any large game with. Are they like that, or is there like a limit? Like, are these 22 caliber air rifles?
Yes, there is a limit.
7.77?
Let me get up.
I don't even know what that is in
We
millimeters.
need new kinds of rifles that we can market to the UK, like Hydra rifles
Exactly.
or something. You know.
So-
It's like a millimeter.
My dad has 3 or 4 air rifles. He has an old one that he's had for ages. He's got a new one that is much more powerful. I'm just looking on websites now to
Kyle.
try and
You
work.
kill a man with one, or more importantly, a dog.
Kai, you know how if you get a leak in a hydraulic fluid system, it comes out at such pressure that it can like penetrate and cut and stuff. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, it can like cut
I've
metal.
heard
They
that
use that
before,
in
but I've never
industrial plants.
experienced it.
Yeah, there are wounds because it'll inject like hydraulic fluid into your body, and now you've like gone septic and it's awful. It seems like
My
we could
dad's-
weaponize this concept for people who don't have guns. Just like 5,000 psi
that sounds
hydraulic air. Yeah, it's
Well, they've
supposed to
done
be
that
awful.
kind of like shark dart. You stab and it fills you up with CO2 gas, super high pressure. Shark dart.
Well, that
So
sounds awesome.
you can You
But
can
then
have
it's
an
just a
air
knife.
rifle up to 12.
One poke and they're just dead.
Yeah. Also, that works with a regular knife.
Have you ever seen a real life stabbing? It
They're way
doesn't.
deader,
You always hear about
Taylor.
these people get stabbed 37 times and living. It's hard to stab somebody to death.
I don't think it would be. Once you get like 1 or 2 or 3 in, if it's a decent sized knife, there's not going to be much resistance for the subsequent 34.
I don't want to be around stabbing 34 times. Just pop them once
If
with a
I
sharp.
learned anything from Game of Thrones, you're supposed to fillet people. You fillet
true.
them. Yeah.
I think it's
And
fillet.
you're going to get caught with your ridiculous with
You're
your shark
right. I
knife.
just
Oh,
stumbled
how many
over my
people
words.
have bought this in the last month in this area? 1. Because nobody has shark knives. Oh, is it that maniac who lives in the middle of a field and blows things up in Georgia? It might be that guy. Nobody else has this. Like,
I love gadgets like that. Like the one guy, he had a knife. It was like this big Bowie knife, but it had a revolver on the inside. So you just point the knife and push a button, and it's like bang, 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 bang. It's like that's awesome. So you could stab somebody, shoot them at the same time. That's
You've seen
wonderful.
that old school like brass knuckles revolver knife, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's
That's
like, you hold it like brass knuckles. You can shoot like it doesn't even have a barrel, just directly out of the cylinder, willy nilly, and then a tiny little knife on the end.
yeah. I've seen that.
What
thing.
are the knives that you guys have got recently? Is it the switchblade knives where you like flick out the blades? You're not allowed those in the UK. They're illegal.
I don't know. I've got a CRKT knife that I've carried around. What are the little orange knife I have? The Kershaw.
It's
that I
Kershaw.
carry a
You
lot.
had the leak, I think.
Yeah, the Kershaw Leak. I don't know. I carry a bunch of SOG knives. I carry.
I could talk about knives. I'm sorry. I should have let you go. I know, right? Taylor's excited. This Kershaw Chive, if you want a knife, this is my favorite. It's a cheap, small knife. I like them tiny. But, God, I am using this multi-tool all the time. It's what I actually carry in my pocket now. I've shown it before.
That's definitely a culture thing, US versus UK. We don't carry knives. We may carry multi-tools, but I don't know anyone who just carries a knife around.
This
like
is hardly
I've bought
a knife.
like a credit
More
card.
of a Scottish
size
thing.
knife. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that people in the UK would carry around. But like an actual like single knife, nobody does that. That would be strange if
Come
you
on,
just said,
Glasgow's
let me
the
just
stabbing
grab out.
capital of the world.
Yeah, but that's different. They're stabbing you with like kitchen knives, not.
A knife is a knife.
Look at that
Look
thing.
at this guy.
So that would be illegal in the UK.
Yeah, we
The
don't.
thing that-
Your mic is off, Taylor.
It's not a switchblade; it's just spring assisted.
Yeah, this thing is. I like spring assisted a lot. It just opens right up. I didn't carry knives forever, and then suddenly I did, and I needed one 10 times a day. What'd you say?
I said it's useless. Like there's no reason to have this. Like what am I gonna do? Let me open this box and pretend I'm not a maniac around people.
You could punch the box open.
Yeah, let me get that for you. Just eating the shit out of my Amazon package.
Once you have it in your pocket, suddenly you need it all the time. There's so many little screws that need to be tightened, so many things. It's every box that needs to be open. All that like armored packaging, the blister packs that would kill you otherwise.
Do you really find Amazon packaging is that difficult though? I mean, they make them really simple now. You just pull a tab, like you pull the tab open, and it.
I don't have a tab on my Amazon package.
Yeah, we don't. When we in the land of the free, where we have knives, they don't put easy open kindergarten tabs on boxes.
It is
Yeah,
usually the paper tape, which isn't that awful to open. Like you can like punch.
Yeah,
it
for the
use-
bigger parcels we have that too, but for the smaller things like a book or a DVD or anything maybe only a few inches thick, it's like if you manage to get like a net of a piece of cardboard and it's just folded up and there's like a tab that you just pull open, you don't even need a knife.
Oh, yeah, I
I
have
usually
seen
just
that.
shoot my Amazon package.
I think they're called
That's
like
how,
frustration
Dollar Shave Club
packaging.
sends their stuff. Dollar
Yeah.
Shave Club, you just rip it right off the
Oh
top.
yeah, you pull a
And
No
you
tab.
don't
fuss,
have a
no
knife.
muss.
Great.
Aren't they the greatest?
They are.
But yeah, most of my stuff comes in small boxes, and I could open it with a key, but I have a knife on me, and it's better. And yeah.
Do you guys not have scissors available to hand?
Oh my God!
Scissors
you think
are
we don't
No,
have scissors?
no,
All right,
strictly
so
illegal.
think about scissors. So in America, scissors are a very
You have a
feminine.
pair.
I feel like most men do not have scissors. Scissors are a thing for women
And
for whatever reason.
Women and British
It's-
people.
Women
No,
and British. I mean,
I
that goes for a
normally-
lot of things.
I normally get my scissors from our kitchen. If I have a parcel which comes through my front door, I'm already near my kitchen, and then I just pick up the parcel, move it to the kitchen, and then open
So let
the
me
box.
see if I have this
That's
right.
true,
You grab
but in the
scissors,
United-
you open them up all the way, and then you wield them like a knife and cut
Yes.
along.
Why do I need a knife?
Because it's purpose built for that. It's better.
Well, here in the U.S., we have to register our scissors with a local police department. And they make us keep it somewhere where it's not
There's a
very
list.
easy to get. Just in case.
I'm going to get
GPS tracking.
absolute bollocking on the subreddit if I've got any of this wrong about guns.
That's okay.
They're
They
gonna
probably
rip
will.
to shreds. Yeah.
I'm from the UK and I have a gun. He's a fucking idiot.